Beer and loafing, beer and loafing, that's who we are. Beer and loafing, cheaper than a bar.
Hi, this is David from Beer and Loafing in San Francisco, and I'm here to give you a Blu Ray rant. Well, Blu Ray came and no one rejoiced. But really, they should have. They should have put out better product. The prices should have been cheaper. The people should have been more embracing. And none of that's happening. And it's too bad. But, let's just take a look at a few releases that they've done so far. And maybe we'll get an idea of why it just hasn't captured everybody as much as it should have. One of the first Blu-rays that came out was The Fifth Element. When it first came out, it was a poor master. The print looked bad. The sound was bad. The whole release was just a piece of crap. So what do they have to do 6 months or a year later? They reissue it with a brand new print, with a brand new transfer and better sound. Still doesn't look as good as it could, but maybe that's just the state of the film. So, okay, you can get this movie usually used or online for about $14.95, so that's not too bad. That's your entry-level Blu-ray now for a good bargain. Unfortunately, it's not a good example of what Blu-ray should be. Then we got, one of the more shocking films I thought we'd never see on Blu-ray right away was Evil Dead 2. Okay, great horror film. Problem with Evil Dead 2 is this looks like crap on Blu-ray. Okay, true, it's a low-budget movie, but Blu-ray can look good with a low-budget movie. It doesn't have to look bad. Again, it's just not the best transfer, or maybe not the best print, but it's still one of the better prints of this movie. I know you're not going to get a lot for this kind of movie. So maybe not a shining example of Blu-ray, but still something that everybody should have. Again, you can get this usually for $14.95 or $19.95. Then one of the earlier ones that came out was Kung Fu Hustle. Okay, Kung Fu Hustle looks great on Blu-ray. Sound probably isn't as good as it should be, but the picture's really nice. This is one of Stephen Chow's later entries, and it's really an entertaining movie, but it really needs to have a good sound system. It really needs to have a big TV, because this movie shines in a nice theatrical experience. A good, reasonably priced Blu-ray, you can usually find it for about $20. You get Kill Bill 1 and 2. That was a big one that people have been waiting for. They really wanted to see Kill Bill on Blu-ray. You saw icons on websites that people would use as their avatars with Kill Bill DVD covers for Blu-ray releases. Wishful thinking. Well, finally they got around to it and they did it. Was it Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair? No. No, it's just the same two Kill Bills that we already had on regular DVD. But they did a really nice job transferring these films. These movies never looked good on DVD. They looked great in the theater. They sounded wonderful in the theater. On DVD, they failed horribly. Blu-ray is the beginning of this is where you want to get to. Not the best effort on Blu-ray, but boy, these films shine. They mix the soundtrack nicely. Kill Bill 1 has a slightly different edge to its sound. Kill Bill 2 has another edge to its sound. But they both work for the movies. And these two work very well on Blu-ray. Highly recommend them. You're probably not going to find a great deal on those at any time soon. But, maybe $19.95, $24.95. Look around online. Amazon used. You can get almost anything Amazon used now for a great bargain. So Blu-ray's a good place to do that. So, coming to the end, one of the big releases of Blu-ray last year, I'm trying to say that 5 times fast, is Blade Runner. They did a beautiful job, 5-disc set of Blade Runner. They released them on all platforms. They went ahead and did a transfer of a director's cut. They did pirated cut, they did the original narrative cut, they did the original narrated cut. They put it all in here. You get your extras, you get some nice commentaries, you get some good interviews. but the film looks and sounds fantastic. Ridley Scott's new director's cut that he did for this release and also for a limited theatrical release last year is stellar. I actually think the film looks better on Blu-ray than it did in the theater. In the theater, for some reason, it looked blown up and still didn't look right. So, okay, Blu-ray people who are making Blu-rays and releasing them, we want more releases like this. We want well-made movies with good sound, with good pictures. We understand that age is going to have limitations. We understand that grain is necessary on film. Go ahead and make decent Blu-rays. Stop putting crap out. One of the more shocking entries that I ended up buying last year was Across the Universe. This was the bottom of the barrel because nothing else was coming out on Blu-ray that I wanted, and I just was desperate to find something because, you know, I got this new TV, I got this PS3 that I'm watching Blu-ray on, but I don't have any decent Blu-rays to watch. I need to get some more. They're putting out crap. So, I picked this up. I got this for about $14.95, and I have to tell you, this movie was great. It looked great, sounded great, was entertaining. It's basically Beatles music put to a storyline in the 60s. If you want something kind of surreal and unusual, this is it. Highly recommended. But again, this is what we want in a Blu-ray release. This movie was made for Blu-ray. We want better Blu-ray releases. We want the industry to realize we don't want to pay $40. Why does Iron Man come out now on Blu-ray for $39.99 new on Blu-ray and also regular DVD? So $40 for your 2-disc set. Of course, on Amazon you can get it for a lower price. And not just Amazon, you can go to DVD Planet or any of the other shops online. You'll find it around. I don't want to just plug one industry. But why are the prices of DVDs going up to match Blu-ray? That's wrong. We shouldn't be paying $40 for a first issue of Iron Man, even in a special 2-disc set. That should be a $24, $29.95 kind of deal. Then you get your discount. And $40 for Blu-ray and DVD, we're going the wrong direction. Prices should be coming down on this stuff. It's cheap plastic. We have more plants out there putting this stuff out, so we need the industry to hear this. I don't know how we get it out to them. In the meantime, if you get a Blu-ray player, increase your audio system. Spend money there more than you will anywhere else, because an uncompressed audio on Blu-ray is where it's at. You really want to get to that level. Your TV will look good. The picture will look good. You can get a picture on an up-converting DVD player to look good on a widescreen TV. But you'll never get the audio that you can on Blu-ray. That is the magic. You get a nice surround system going, you will find out why Blu-ray is here and why Blu-ray needs to prevail. So support the industry, write your movie studios, you know, be vocal about what you want, be vocal about the prices. We can make this system work. That's my Blu-ray rant.
Cheaper than a bar.